The Irish Hotspur David tuning in says, make sure you smash a like in the stream. What a win yesterday, Matt. No surprise. It came when our best players are not injured in Regalan, Aurier and Toby. Well, look, David, thank you so much. I always say it to you, but thank you so much for helping Marcelo run that live watch on yesterday. Everyone head over to the Irish Hotspur and subscribe while he is here. And absolutely, those players back in the team are a massive boost. And, I just want to say on the point of Davinson Sanchez, because you're just pointing out Toby Alderweireld there. Sanchez was really good yesterday. He was massively improved. But he's still not good enough. And I just want to explain this again before people get a kind of jump at me a bit, because I know some of my takes are a bit kind of a bit strong, but when I kind of explain them, I think they can be understood a bit more. Davinson Sanchez was almost flawless yesterday. He won 11 out of his 14 aerial duels and 3 out of 4 of his ground duels. That defence is always better when Toby Alderweireld is in it. Toby Alderweireld as a player has declined in the last 12 to 18 months, naturally due to his age. The fact that he's lost his almost lifelong footballing partner in Jan Vertonghen. There has been a decline in his ability. We can't blame him for that. We can't question that. That was always going to happen to him. But the one thing that will never decline, and that, in my opinion, will continue to improve right till the day his career ends, is his knowledge of the game, his understanding of what the team wants to do, what the opponent wants to do, and his sense of awareness in terms of being able to organise that defence around him. Davinson Sanchez, beside Toby Alderweireld, is a completely different player to Davinson Sanchez beside Eric Dyer. And that for me was proven yesterday. Now, we were, I think, helped by the fact that, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I think Sean Dyche planned to catch Spurs on a counter-attack with Mate Vidra and Jay Rodriguez by taking out Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood of that team, taking them out of that team. If Sanchez had been up against those two in aerial battles, the 11 out of 14 aerial duels won would not have been the stat. We'd be looking at the other side, maybe 11 out of 14 lost, because he's not very strong in the air. But I think Sanchez looked a lot better yesterday because he was alongside Toby Alderweireld. And if we can keep Toby in that team for the rest of the season, even alongside Davinson Sanchez, because right now Eric Dyer and Sanchez, neither are good options. They both just kind of offer something different. I think Sanchez, when we're trying to play attacking football, is a bit faster on the transition to step back and defend when it is needed. Whereas Eric Dyer will probably be a better player when we are playing that low block and teams are going to try and catch us out from set pieces or long balls into the box. If we want to keep that compact unit, Sanchez should not be anywhere near that team. It needs to be Eric Dyer. Now, Sanchez showed yesterday one instance in particular that I saw on Twitter. He showed he's still not a good enough defender. Bernie, I think, played the ball down the left-hand side, and the ball came into Mate Vidra's feet, and he just managed to kind of make it past Davinson Sanchez. And Sanchez, with his recovery run, ran straight to the ball. So Vidra is kind of coming from the left side, kind of cutting in, going back towards goal, and Sanchez ran straight to that ball. What Sanchez needs to do there, defensively, is cut off the lane that Vidra is planning to run into. But instead, he went straight to Mate Vidra. A stronger and faster player would have gone past Sanchez there and probably scored. So Sanchez did get a bit lucky in that instance. His decision-making isn't always good. His defensive positioning and awareness hasn't always been the best, but it's improved when he's put alongside a player like Toby Alderweireld, as it is with Eric Dyer when he plays alongside Alderweireld. Dyer and Sanchez should never play on a football pitch together, ever, no matter what. Whatever instance you want to create, whatever you want to say about Spurs and what team we should play, the two of them should never, ever be in a team together. And Toby Alderweireld, as we saw yesterday, just massively improves that defence. And we were so lucky that that was able to come into effect yesterday in a game where Davinson Sanchez did keep Burnley out in the opening stages of that game, as Alderweireld did. And the fact that we were able to get that early goal, then kind of keep Burnley out for a bit, then get that second goal, and then get that third goal, it was a completely different game as to what it would have been, say, if that had been Alderweireld and Dyer, where we may not have had as much pace on the transition when Burnley were attacking because of the players that they did pick, where Burnley might have gotten an equaliser. It might have been 1-1 before Harry Kane ever managed to get on the score sheet. So it's a case of picking the players for the game in particular, rather than picking the players that you think are the best. A lot of people would have preferred to see Eric Dyer in that team yesterday, but when I saw it was Davinson Sanchez, I was absolutely delighted about that, because for me, when I see Sanchez in the team, it's a sign that we're going to play attacking football. It's a sign that we're going to go out and try and take the game to the opposition, and that we want to have that bit of recovery pace on the transition and getting back. And maybe Serge Aurier is the same as that, because Aurier is quicker than Matt Doherty. So maybe Aurier is there for that pace on the transition as well. And on the left-hand side, Ben Davies, say, started against Liverpool at Anfield. We were never going to attack that game. Maybe he was there for defensive stability rather than the pace going backwards and forwards the whole way through. So it's all about picking the players for the games that you're playing, rather than the actual your best players, if that does make sense. Wayne says Dyer should never be on a football pitch ever. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that. Well,